Sir, the Americans have gone now. They have left the Afghanistan soil. But there is one thing that is common between the Northern Alliance and also if we talk about the Taliban. They want the people to stay back in Afghanistan and not to flee. But what exactly Amrullah Saleh seems to be believing to say that Taliban is something which is unpopular. It's a proxy force that has taken over and it is hated by the whole country because that is the reason why they want to escape from them. But if we even talk about the United States, it's being claimed that a superpower has decided to become a mini power, and that's okay. The Afghanistan people know how to rule and know, especially what Amrullah Saleh has been saying, that they wish to rule the entire country of Afghanistan with a free and a fair means.
Right. So what Amrullah Saleh is saying, I echo his sentiments, because if you see the last 2 years of the reports which have been published in the UN, and necessarily the report 418 of last year and 486 of this year, you will understand that Taliban also has got cliches and it has got subdivisions and a lot of unrest within. So it's not a cohesive force from top to bottom. So when you speak about the Doha agreement and the leaders who led there, and then you go to the ground level of the loose cannons who are flying on the streets of Kabul and killing people today, there is a disconnect. And I'll tell you from where it emanates. It emanates because of the economics of it. And there has been a power struggle in Afghanistan for the Taliban to live off and control the opium trade and methamphetamine trade which has been going on for the last 2 decades. And even the extortion money from the gold minings of, say, areas like Rajasthan district yield a revenue of nearly $200,000 to the Quetta Shura. So these two, components of the Taliban, the Quetta Shura and the Peshawar Shura, they take a lot of bandwidth out from the general public. So it is not for the general public which they get the money into. So even if you take narcotic smuggling, you take smuggling of heroin, hashish, other goods from the Tirab Valley or going towards the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa towards Pakistan, there is a lot of connect of illegal trade between some segments of Afghanistan and Pakistan. And that is where you find that Amrullah Saleh is right when he says that there is a lot of unrest within. The normal Afghan, the commoners there are not for the Taliban rule. They're not for the Sharia. They have seen 2 decades of prosperity with the UN control there. So they don't want to go back to the dark ages. And if you see, even the last year, from 2019 to 2020, the sporadic incidents of violence have only increased. Some put it to about 10%. If you see this first quarter of 2021, the escalation of violence is nearly 60% plus. So that is the way the Taliban has tried to contest and control nearly about 50 to 70% of the Afghan territory. But they are not even able to control 5% of the Afghanis' hearts and minds. So that is where they are lacking. Power of the gun will last.
Absolutely, sir, because when it comes to the operation and to putting things to work there, that is a biggest challenge that remains. Of course, they have captured many of those places there, including defense installations, but do they really know how to operate them? That remains the question, and we'll be also talking about was Afghanistan lost to the Taliban already when the Doha talks happened and not just on the 15th of August when they took over all of Kabul? Those remains multiple questions there, even as all of United States has finally pulled out after a 20-year-long intervention out of Afghanistan. Colonel Dev, sir, thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast.